On this edition of Wolf Tracks, it's a brand new school year, and that means brand new changes. We'll check them out. Also, what does a flagpole, teenagers, and prayer all have in common? We'll find out. And check out what might be the source of your back pain. All this and more coming up on this edition of Wolf Tracks. Hi, I'm Chris Olson.
I'm Eric Anderson, and we'd like to welcome you to the first Wolf Tracks of the new school year.
The new school year brings new faces, scenery, and leaders to the school. Let's take a look at some of this in the next story.
Do you smell what the rock is?
The 1999-2000 year is off and running with graduation just around the corner. Seniors are ready to lead the pack.
Chad O'Connell, as this year's ASB president of the senior class, well, you can expect things to be better than ever.
Here, being that I'm president all, I feel a little bit above the rest of my fellow students because I'm on another level, but that's all right, that's all right. I'm happy to see some sophomores here. Some of my shorter junior friends are finally taller than a few people. I'm very excited for them.
Being one of the biggest high schools in the state isn't easy. With 938 sophomores this year, the biggest class ever, makes the total high school population about 2,600. This fall, 4 new portable classrooms are added on the front lawn to ease the overcrowding.
For my English class to get to my locker, it takes up about 5 minutes.
The fact that there's such a large class of sophomores isn't necessarily good news for the upperclassmen.
The hallways are so crowded that I can't even walk through to get to my classes ever. I think that we need to build another school. There's way too many people in here.
Traditions here at South Kitsap High School are as strong as any other high school in the country. Pre-game plans for this year's sophomores were, well, let's just say exciting.
We've been setting this up for about 2.5 years now, and some unlucky sophomore is going to get dragged into the middle of the gym, and we're all going to take whips to him. And
sophomores don't always speak for themselves, but in this case, we let them.
You're representing the whole sophomore class as we talk right now. What do you think about your class? Look around.
That's cool.
In that crowd?
No. It's pretty cool.
A start to a good year is a start to a good ending. Good luck this year. See you later.
We've gone 60 minutes.
All the Wolves here at South Kitsap High School, and it might be on the corny side, but I really want you to think about it. Don't count the days. Make the days count. Go for it. You only go through high school once. Get involved in your school. And get involved. Go Wolves.
Well, I couldn't agree with Mr. Colombini anymore, but seniors do get a bad rap for this senioritis thing. But I can personally guarantee you that the seniors this year will be just fine.
One problem that really bothered me over the summer was the traffic. It seemed like everywhere you looked, there was another construction crew tearing up the road. Here's CJ Lupica with the story.
Well, it went on all summer and now into the fall. That's right, the construction work. Port Orchard is growing, introducing a new Albertsons and a Fred Meyer. It's also improving with the landslide project and the road construction. Unfortunately, it's become an inconvenience for local business and commuters. We talked to the owner of Rewind Music and Coffee Shop and the owner of the SK Mall in Bucks A&W about how their businesses are faring with all this work going on.
Well, the slide work, I don't mind the inconvenience because it's supposed to be a final fix for the problem. The other ones, I'm not understanding the timing of the certain constructions. I understand that Fred Meyer's and Albertsons are all moving in.
If the construction wasn't there, I'm assuming it would be a little bit better because there's a lot of people that travel Mile Hill Drive through State Road 166.
As far as the slide goes, it's affected our business in a negative way, and it's affected the other businesses in a negative way. But all of us are pretty much feel the same way, that we don't mind it being closed as long as this is the final solution.
Sure is tough getting around here in Port Orchard, but I guess it'll all pay off in the end.
Well, I guess with such a growing community, road construction is just something we're going to have to deal with. What? What's so funny?
Oh, well, man, you need a new fashion. Like, everything you dress so oldies, like last year type-ish, man.
Oh, yeah? What's wrong? I look fine. What are you talking about?
Well, all right, but just check out this next story on fashion for me, all right?
Here at South, we're going to find out what's in style, from name brands to piercings.
And the overall view of how people dress. So what's your style?
Well, it's the new kid on the block, don't stop, you getting rocked, letting everybody know that we got this on lock. Tick tock, you better wind the clock, time to get the shot, make your body move, if you only knew, yes you are, recognizes what you go through, it's only because you've been blind like Mr. Magoo. True enough that this cut is from Jesu, S manifest fatter than all the rest, who wanna test, the best dressed mess, this is my interest, but I gotta confess that my mic is God bless, we got next, this balance is battle like bad checks.
So what are the latest trends you've seen this year in school?
I guess it's about the same as last year. A lot more people are wearing Abercrombie, I guess.
Abercrombie and Fitch and Gap and those kind of deals.
I've seen a lot of people wear Abercrombie and Fitch and a lot of Gap.
A lot of people shop at the Gap.
And our Abercrombie and Fitch, Gap, Old.
Lights flash, moving in and out the crowd. Can't hear what you be saying cause the music's kinda loud. Proud I got you open, hoping you can cope with the smoke. Evidence of the fire in the rhymes that I wrote. You choke.
So how much money have you spent this year on clothes?
Well, I spent like $300.
I think I spent like $200 or $300.
I think I spent around probably like $80.
So what about piercings?
Oh, and with piercings, some people like the big piercing things like this year is the tongue and like your belly button. But I had my belly button pierced and it got infected, so I took it out. So, and I think the tongue thing.
I think the tongue on the guy looks good, but for girls, it's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, that about wraps up for this edition on Style. Till next time, this is Derrick Jones and Eugene back.
You don't gotta be living big really like all these rappers telling fables. Be able to read the book that could work. The basic instructions before leaving up.
So you see what I'm saying?
Well, you're saying I should get my tongue pierced?
Nah, forget it.
This next story is an event that I had a chance to attend. It brought a lot of kids in the school together, and, well, just take a look at the story.
On Wednesday, September 15th, there was an unusual gathering in front of South Kitsap High School. It was the annual See You at the Pole rally. See You at the Pole is a worldwide event whose purpose it is to gather kids in front of their schools to pray and lift up the name of their God.
We'll lift up Christ. I just love to lift up God. It's kind of what I've dedicated my life to.
The event was held out in front of South Kitsap High School starting at 6:30 a.m. and it was led by the Youth Alive Bible Club and their president, Brandon Sundberg.
My name's Brandon Sundberg, president of the Youth Alive Bible Club. A couple million people all around the world are meeting from about 6 to 8 o'clock today, and they're all praying for revival to hit this world.
Basically what goes on at an event like this is prayer, of course, and worship, and they even brought in a live band.
So that's youth group band.
The only problem of the morning came when the band played a little too loudly for some neighbors of the high school, and they were shut down. But other than that, it went off without a hitch.
Well, that was a really good event, and everybody that showed up had a really good experience.
Coming up next on Wolf Tracks, see how the SK football team has been doing. And we all had to go through it once, see what kind of things the sophomores are going through. And up next, a calendar of South Kitsap events.
Now it's time for the calendar of events. And here's what's going on for the month of October. There's a half day on Thursday the 7th, and don't bother getting up in the morning on Friday the 8th because there is no school. This year's Spirit Week will be held the week of October the 11th. The 14th is Homecoming Coronation, where a king and queen and the homecoming court will be crowned. The 15th is the homecoming football game. It starts at 7 p.m. And the 16th is the homecoming dance. And here are the schedules for our SK sports teams. That does it for the month of October. Stay safe and have a happy Halloween.
Well, the football team is at it again, off to another great start. We threw together some information about their season so far.
If it's fall, it's football season, and just as temperatures fall, the fortunes of the SK football team are on the rise. Our Wolves are again dominating the competition. As this episode of Wolf Tracks is being produced, the Wolves have had 3 decisive victories over Rogers of Puyallup, Port Angeles, and Gig Harbor. Under the leadership of quarterback Jimmy Newell and star running back Roger Cooper, the Wolves are again looking very hopeful for their 20th straight playoff appearance. Coach DJ Segerson is in his 3rd year as head coach and is continuing the rich traditions of South Kitsap football. And for the 2nd year, the South Kitsap video production class has filmed and replayed the home games on public access television. So if you want to see some good, hard-hitting high school football, come out and watch a game. Or if you can't make it, watch it on your public access channel.
Those football games are replayed after every home game at 10 o'clock a.m. on your local access station.
Well, it looks like homecoming's coming up again. Yeah, what's so funny now, Mr. Comedian, huh?
Nothing, man. It's just, you know, both you and me are on the homecoming court and competing, you know. It's just, I don't know, kind of funny.
Well, why is that so funny? Because I can't be king? Because I'm not Eric Anderson, Mr. Wrestler?
No, it's just check out this homecoming video.
Well, sorry, I'm not Mr. Perfect.
Homecoming is going to be here soon. Have you heard about it or even thought about it? Oh, it's really a fun game. You know, the seniors come in and it's the last homecoming game. You get pretty pumped. You want to make the most out of the night.
The football varsity team won last year's homecoming game. The pressure pours on as people talk about whether we will win or lose this important game.
Friday the 15th, the Wolves are definitely going to stomp Olympic at homecoming. It's not even going to be funny to watch.
Then after the football game, come to the homecoming dance. The committee says it's going to be awesome, so make sure you check it out.
Yes, it's going to be the best dance ever, of course. Since it's the seniors' last dance this year, we wanted to make it the best homecoming ever.
Dance is on a Saturday, October 16th, so make sure you buy your tickets now and we'll see you there.
Sorry, Eric, I kind of lose my temper sometimes. Kind of a sensitive subject. Well, football's not the only sport here at South. Diving also has some very high expectations. Here's Mike Smith with the story. Check it out.
Diving takes a lot of grace and talent, but it also takes a lot of time and practice.
It's about 2 hours every day. Those kids that choose to do club diving afterwards, either over the summer or hours after we're done here, are definitely going to be the ones that are going to progress through the season.
Diving requires more discipline than pure physical talent.
Because if you think you can, then you can, but if you think you can't, then you're not going to be able to. I visualize all my dives, and I memorize the way, the order of my dives so that I know which one's up next.
This year, the dive team is young, but very determined.
Those are progressing pretty quick. We have a pretty young team. We only have 3 returning kids. The rest are all new at this, so they're doing well.
If you ever catch the dive team in action, remember, it demands hard work and patience.
Hey, Eric, aren't you in a diving class?
Oh, yeah. To date, just pulled off the belly flop.
Okay, well, this next story is one that we've all had to deal with at one point or another, being a sophomore. Let's take a look at what this year's sophomores have had to deal with.
Say hundreds. Some even say thousands. But actually, there are about 938 sophomores here at South. And even though they are the largest class, they still get stuck with South's traditions, such as the sophomore pit, where the 10th graders eat lunch.
Well, I think it's cool, you know. I mean, all my sophomore homies, you know, we're tight. Yeah, it's cool. You know, I mean, all the seniors got their section up there, but you know, these sophomores, yeah, we're representing. Yo, this is my homie right here, Ron. What do you have to think of the sophomore pit? It's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
It's so degrading. It makes me feel like a low life, and South gets that.
Also, the pep assemblies, where the upperclassmen are always cracking jokes about the sophomores.
It reminded me of my first day of school, you know? Here. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But you have to give them a little credit. Being so little in such a big high school, be smart and at least give a sophomore that is bigger than you the right directions.
Hey, can you tell me where room 125 is? Take the elevator to the 5th floor. Thanks. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, never mind, wait. It's right down here, downstairs, let's try. Oh.
But don't worry, sophomores. Even if you're not big enough to demand respect, you will someday be an upperclassman.
Man, I had to go through some bad stuff when I was a sophomore, but that's just plain embarrassing.
Yeah, one time when I was a sophomore, the seniors took me and grabbed me.
No, just, not here, Chris.
Do you have back problems? A lot of doctors are saying it could be the way you're wearing your backpack.
Well, I prefer the one shoulder technique.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's check out this story.
Did you ever wonder what that dull, aching pain was from every time you bend over? Now, did you ever think it would be your backpack? Recent studies on the news and in magazines published throughout the country show that heavy loads in backpacks are a leading cause in adolescent back pain. We talked to SK's school nurse, Karen Leahy, about how our backpacks could be leading us straight to the health room and what we could do to help her prevent back problems in the future.
By the time you're in high school, the bigger problem is that you all carry your whole life around with you in your backpack. So often, it's not uncommon for us to see backpacks here that weigh in excess of 50 to 75 or 100 pounds. The correct way actually to do it if it's really heavy is to set it up on the desk or on the table so that it's bearing the weight while you turn around and slip your arms into it and then pull it up over your shoulders. That creates the least amount of stress on your body.
So when you're walking down the hall, keep in mind that the pain that you're feeling could very well be the pack on your back.
Hey, I've got an idea for you. Don't carry so much stuff in your backpacks.
It's a good idea. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
We'll leave you now with some clips from Kickshaw, the group that performed for South Kitsap in Assembly. Thank you for watching Wolf Tracks. We'll see you next time.
Rising up, back on the street. I took my time, took my chances. I went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man with the
passion for glory.